A few tips on drawing cartoon clothing so it looks like the character is wearing it instead of being a flat cardboard cutout glued to the front of them. We'll use Ebenezer Scrooge here from the 2009 animated Disney version of A Christmas Carol. Let's start with his coat and shirt sleeves. First, both coat and shirt sleeves hang down slightly from the top of the wrist. His wrist should be drawn as if they are going into the shirt sleeve, and the shirt sleeve should be drawn as if it's going into the coat sleeve. To do this, the coat sleeve should be drawn extending just past the shirt sleeve, then disappearing behind that shirt sleeve. The shirt sleeve should be drawn with curved lines that extend just past the wrist to the top, with that line disappearing behind the wrist, and drawn at the bottom extending slightly farther before curving back up and disappearing behind the wrist. The same mindset is followed when drawing the collar, which wraps around the back of his neck, with his hair, sideburns, and side of his face being overlapped by that collar. Notice the curve of the collar. To understand his hat, it's important to remember that the top of his head is extending up into the body of that hat, so that the hat has to be at least as wide as the width of his head. Then it's important to remember that the hat brim is actually wrapping around his head. There's a bottom of the brim and a top of the brim. Making this a bit more complicated is the fact that the brim is curved. In fact, all the lines that are used to draw this hat are slightly curved. A general thing to remember is that you want to draw that hat so it looks like he's wearing it and not floating on top of his head or pasted to his forehead. Finally, along with those curved lines on his hat, there are several places on his coat and scarf that you want to draw curved lines to help give the drawing a more three-dimensional feel. Mostly in the wrinkles of the coat and scarf, but also in the pocket on his coat. Overall rule, try to avoid straight lines. Okay, now you try. Follow me here and go to my YouTube channel, Level Up Cartooning, for the full video on drawing Disney's version of Ebenezer Scrooge.